Good morning and welcome to Real Talk with Tamara. As you guys come into the room, please hit the like button. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. I always express the importance of hitting the like button. It helps to keep the video in the algorithm, okay? Definitely, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. If you find yourself unsubscribed, just resubscribe again until this thing is under control, okay? Okay. Um, yeah, I wanted to talk about, I'm sorry, I got a text message that took my attention. I wanted to talk about FBG Duck's case, but before I do that, I want to just thank everyone for all of their support, all of their kind words. As I always say, I have the best subscribers, and I've prayed for that. I would rather have quality than quantity. I would like a lot of subscribers, but I would love for them to um, just be real grown folks, as I say that my subscribers are. Um, so I appreciate that as we start to grow. And even with people trying to compromise at this point, until this until all of this is it everything has an ending. But until then, if you find yourself unsubscribe, just subscribe again. Okay. So, like I said, I truly appreciate you as we go up. And y'all have been absolutely awesome. Y'all rock for real. Y'all absolutely do. Okay. I wanted to talk about the sixth suspect indicted in FBG Duck's case. I remember when I first started learning about FBG Duck, it must have been last year in the summer of last year, or I know it was just last year. And I definitely took an interest in the case because of just when I took an interest in just sitting down and reading about the case and looking into some stuff. Although I may not talk a whole lot about it, I know I've done a couple videos on FBG Duck, um, even a couple that have been, the hackers compromised. But I knew in when I started looking into that case, I took an interest in it because number one, FBG Duck was very talented, a Chicago rapper that was very talented, very underrated, and I always felt like one of the main reasons he was killed is because he was getting ready to blow up. Okay. Because in looking at, the people that killed him, they had been dissing each other back and forth for a while. But as soon as FBG Duck started to get a buzz, I think whoever his enemies knew that he was getting ready to blow up. It didn't necessarily have anything to do with the dissing. It had everything to do with um, um, the amount of traction that he had gained because like I said, they had been dissing each other anyways, right? If he had made those songs and he was not getting any traction, nobody would have cared, right? Nobody would have cared. But because he was gaining traction, um he because he was gaining traction, he they had started to, the enemy wanted him gone because the enemy knew that he was going to surpass them, right? Whoever his enemies were. As I say, jealousy is as deadly as the grave, okay? Hold on, you guys. So the enemy knew that he was getting ready he was going to go far. FBG Duck was very talented, one of the most talented rappers that I've seen in a while. He was very versatile, and he could have easily, just with his sound, he could have easily got into different genres. He could have easily did features in rock and country. I mean, he was just versatile. You don't see a whole lot of rappers like him. So that he was definitely, that was one of the main reasons that he was taken out. I feel like somebody didn't want him to be one of the biggest to ever come out of Chicago because he was definitely headed that route, right? Um, and so I've always, just the way the just looking at him, I had seen a video and I haven't been able to find it again of actually when he was shot. He was strong to the very end. He looked up in disbelief when he was laying on his belly. And his mother says that he lived 22 minutes. And just looking at him, he was alert and things of the nature. And they basically, the police, the hospital was like 3 minutes away, and the police was out there and would not let the ambulance through because they claimed they wanted to clear the scene. I think that is very suspicious. If Mother Duck does not know that, I want her to know that she's got a multi-million-dollar lawsuit if she's ever to go forward, okay? Because they basically let her son die, right? The police did. I don't know if they was in on it because later on we saw Dirt taking pictures, with the police chief and things of that nature. So things of that nature is very suspicious, right? Um, so later on, there was some indictments. And I think when Mama Duck started to make some noise, and the Chicago police knew, or the feds may have, because I'm gonna tell you something, oftentimes the feds will get involved in stuff, and the feds don't necessarily work with the police. When I was working MPD and the FBI agents, that's the reason why I like what Chief Davis does as far as partnering with them. Okay. They would go back and forth. It would be a tug of war of who had the most power. And I think MPD had an issue with the FBI because they felt like the FBI thought that they superseded, they had more power than them. So they would actually have words. I've heard them have words when I've heard MPD investigators go, well, wait a minute, this is our case. You can't, so, and then they would get mad at the feds because the feds would be very secretive with what they're doing. That's just how they are. And so I was very delighted when I heard that FBG Duck's case had gone federal. And I think one of the reasons, even with me having my suspicions about the Chicago police just letting him lay out there and die, um I you know the, hey, it definitely had the material to be a RICO case. So when I saw that the feds had stepped in, I thought that that was a beautiful thing. I knew that there would be justice in totality for him. But we know that FBG Duck was downtown Chicago in an upscale area shopping for his child's birthday. And they had a camera somewhere in the hall, and the police was able, or the feds was able to get a hold to the young men who killed him running down the hall as if they was trying to get downtown to him, which means somebody had dropped his location, right? As you hear so many people say in the Young Dogs case, they feel like somebody had dropped his location, right? And so I have not heard that. Okay. I have not heard that. I've heard people speculate and say that, but I have not heard that from any credible sources that his location was dropped. I was told that he was followed, but I don't know. But and so we knew that somebody had to have seen FBG Duck down there and dropped his location. And so I'm here. There was a sixth suspect indicted, I believe, on yesterday. And I'm hearing that the suspect that was indicted was actually the young man that saw him down there, dropped his location, was actually mad at him because FBG Duck, you know, was messing around with his girlfriend. That's what I'm hearing, or somebody that he was messing with. FBG Duck might have been messing around with her, and so he saw him down there. Somehow got word back to O Block, and O Block came because we're hearing that King Von had already let them know that he was putting a bag on his head. So I guess they felt like they had a job to do. And the word is King Von may have been mad at him because of that dead bitches video. I don't think that had anything to do with nothing because King Von and them, King Von and Duck and them were dissing each other back and forth consistently. But when Duck started gaining traction, like I said, more people started seeing him. I think there was an urgency to kill him because they was jealous of him. Because I'm gonna tell you something, King Bun did a song called "Exposing Me." Y'all get the opportunity. Y'all go ahead and look at that. King Bun and the young man that was with him did very well, but it was King Bun's song. But Duck and Ruga, and that's when I heard about Ruga. Ruga, they, even though Duck did a awesome job on exposing me, but him and Ruga bodied them on that song. Okay, he remixed King Bun's song, and they just went in. So, I mean, but even then, I don't think they felt like he was a threat. But I'm hearing that Duck had got some kind of deal, had just signed a deal or something like that. And, they just, jealousy is as deadly as the grave. And he, because they bodied them on exposing me. Go listen to both of them. You know what I mean? Ruga went in, and I'm hearing he's Duck's cousin. He was on that song with Doug. Him and Doug both went in, but Ruga, wow, just awesome. Okay. I listen to that song even now. They done turn me into a and it's funny because Chicago rap has a distinct sound, I believe, because when I was playing that song one day, my daughter was like, "That's a Chicago rapper." She was like, "We know." My daughter is younger. She was like, "We know Chicago rap has a distinct sound." Like I said, all of them were talented, to include King Von, but definitely, Duck was gonna go places because he had a versatile sound, right? I'm trying to understand why Ruga ain't out there like he should be. I hear he's getting money, but Ruga is very underrated because he's definitely a awesome rapper. Okay, very conscious too. But the sixth suspect has been indicted. I want to continue on with that because Duck's case mirrors Young Dolph's case. Okay, y'all know I can just kind of talk about these cases um forever. Okay, because it's just something about these two cases that absolutely has my attention. Let's see.
Been indicted in the murder of a Chicago rapper who was shot in the middle of the day in the Gold Coast neighborhood. Ralph Turpin is charged in the murder of Carlton Weekly, also known as FBG Duck. Weekly was shot and killed on Oak Street in August 2020 while shopping for his son's birthday. Prosecutors say the 33-year-old Turpin is a gang member. 5 other defendants were charged in the original indictment. Prosecutors allege they carried out the murder to advance their gang's interests.
Okay, they're saying the news said to advance his gang's interest, but we already know that it was something else, right? Hold on. We already know that it was something else, right? That it was more than that. But I want to go a little further. I want y'all to listen to this. Pay close attention. I've said this for a year. Pay close attention to Duck's case because Young Dolph's case is going to mirror this. Hold on. Hold on, you guys. I be having so many things open that it is ridiculous. Okay, here it is. Um, hold on, you guys. Just give me a moment. I hate to have y'all waiting too, but hold on.
Law enforcement officials say they are charging 5 Chicago street gang operatives with racketeering in the 2020 Oak Street hit on Carlton Weekly. The rapper, known as FBG Duck, was said to be shopping for a birthday present for his son when he was cut down in a mob-style attack. And now the feds are using a law first aimed at mobsters to prosecute the five. On August 4th, 2020, it looked like an old-time outfit attack here on Chicago's Oak Street. 2 attack cars, 4 shooters, and a hail of bullets. But the target wasn't a 1930s gangster. He was a new millennium rapper, FBG Duck. Investigators say he was a gang member whose videos had irked members of a rival gang, 5 of whom tonight stand charged with his killing under the RICO statute, Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, that in 1970 was created to help dismantle traditional organized crime, aka the mob.
The reason why it's charged federally is because we were able to establish evidence to indicate that there was a racketeering enterprise here that was involved, and this murder was done in furtherance of that.
We are going after gangs in this city. This includes gang investigations, narcotics investigations, and gun investigations. We are working together to hold gang members accountable for violence.
Late this afternoon, the I-Team talking with Chicago criminal defense attorney Tony Thedford about what he says is one of the most powerful tools prosecutors have.
You have a street gang, alleged street gang, that kills another gang member in a high-profile case in downtown Chicago. So my belief is that the response is the harshest response possible once they find suspects and charge them.
And he says the evidence sometimes is gathered right from social media.
There's a lot of allegations of back and forth online, or threats online, or videos posted back and forth that then led to retaliation, allegedly, which led to the death of this young man who was killed. And they are very strong tools that are now being used by law enforcement and the government to prosecute crime.
Thedford says for the government, one benefit of a racketeering conspiracy case is that prosecutors don't have to prove each and every individual act. They must only prove defendants' participation in the organization. In this RICO case, a street gang that allegedly gunned down a rival and a rapper in one of Chicago's most exclusive shopping districts.
Did y'all hear what he just said? How the RICO cases work for the prosecutors, right? They don't have to prove every act, just that they participated. Ain't God good? I told y'all, okay, that Young Dolph's case was going to turn into something else. As a matter of fact, it already has turned into something else. And that Young Dolph was going to get justice in totality, okay? And like I said, I've always watched, quietly, especially watched FBG Duck's case closely, because I know that his case absolutely 100% mirrors FBG Duck's case. Young Dolph was killed, if you ask me, execution style, mob style, in broad daylight, just like FBG Duck was, okay? Just like FBG Duck was. And what's going to happen is going to be no different. I truly believe that if King Von was alive, in my opinion, that King Von would be charged at some point in this. I don't know if you know, I would like to know, because I'm hearing that some of those young men got some high-priced attorneys, because so it would be, we know that King Von is no longer here, so it would be interesting to know who's paying for who's all, if all of them have high-priced attorneys. I hear some of them don't, but who's paying for those attorneys, right? Who's paying for those attorneys? You know, the word is that a lot of those young men was paid on video by King Von, allegedly, when he went over to O Block and distributed out that money for his death. I don't know. That's just what I hear. But definitely rest in peace to FBG Duck. I'm happy that he is getting his justice. I just hope it goes all the way up to the very top. Okay, everybody that was involved, the instigators, the motivators, and the motivators will be the ones that's dropping the money, right? The exact same thing in Young Dolph's case. I see them working their way up. People can have their own opinion. I don't have any issues with that. but I know the facts, okay, in Young Dolph's case. And um, Young Dolph's killers were arrested fairly, a few of them fairly early on. And so that just kind of let you know that they have been working from the beginning. And I think people kind of get restless when they go, well, how come this person is not arrested? We know this, we know that, and you could know that, but you have to definitely have proof. It would be an oxymoron to to go and arrest somebody and you don't have all of your I's dotted and your T's crossed. You don't want to leave any crack windows for a high price attorney to get somebody off on a technicality. And then they really, especially with the arrogance that we've seen with some of these folks before the FBI brought them down to some size. And they still trying to have some arrogance in this case, to stand in the camera and do like Nino Brown, say the American justice system is the best that there ever was, and F the police. Okay, because that is exactly what will happen. And we'll say F Dolph, and they could never be tried again. And we'll say I did it. I sure did kill that BS nigga. Because they'll do it with the type of arrogance that we're dealing with in this case. So that's why I say let the people do their job. Consistently pray. Prayer changes things, because Young Dolph's case, as I've said for a year, and FBG Duck's case is really two of the same. Okay, which is why I've always, since I found out about FBG Duck, I've always had an interest in that and watched that it is playing out exactly the way that it should, and you're gonna start to see the same thing in Young Dolph's case. Okay. But rest in peace to FBG Duck. Go and so his mother, kind of keeps you updated on the case. Mama Duck, y'all can go and subscribe to Mother Duck. Um, I like Mama Duck. I do. I like Mama Duck. I feel like, people talk about what she just hurt because her son, her son was gonna make her rich. Okay, good. He sure was. He sure was. If he had been allowed to live, all Duck ever said was how he saw his mother struggle. Okay, and that he was sure gonna take care of his mama. What, a man ain't supposed to take care of his mama now? Have we gotten it twisted? I hear him say that they ain't supposed to take care of their wives or their children. They don't take care of their kids. But now they saying don't take care of your mama either. Are we that selfish and pathetic now? Or is it that people saying that, talking about the lady because they jealous because she had a son that had a multi-million-dollar talent? And not only is she heard about a son, but she's heard about they killed him because of that talent. Okay, which is why they did the same thing to Young Dolph, the exact same thing to Young Dolph. So my hats are off to Mama Duck for keeping her, being brave enough to consistently talk about what they did to her son. And I think it's because Mama Duck knows that even though they got those young men in jail, it's somebody, everybody, it's some people that's still out there that helped to fund his hit. Okay, because they wanted to put his greatness in the grave. Okay, but God is coming back around for a lot of these people. You ain't gonna have to worry about it, because like I said, that God get back ain't nothing nice. And I always said, God works through, God has his people everywhere, and he works through people like the FBI, the DEA, um, the investigators on these different cases. It is his spirit that worked through them to give them the endurance to do what is necessary to bring justice to these young men and those that are talented, that would have some type of celebrity, and to their fans. Okay. All right. But anyways, you guys, I wanted to talk about that. Okay. FBG Duck and Young Dolph, rest in peace to both of them. Like I said, justice in totality, and it is coming soon for both. I thought in April that there would be another indictment, but hey, you know, I thought, I thought about that situation with Orange Mound Quet. I thought that Orange Mound Quet would have been indicted about a month or so before he was. But guess what? Justice delayed is not justice denied. He was sure indicted, wasn't he? So just keep watching. All right, you guys. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure y'all hit that like button, okay? Make sure y'all hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. If you're unsubscribed, just resubscribe again. If you want to support the channel, you can do it via Cash App, or you can hit the super thanks at the bottom of the screen. Your support is always greatly appreciated. I do love you guys. I'll talk with you later.